Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Los.
What's going on with y'all? It's your boy J.O. and we are coming back at you with a new segment here that we are going to focus completely on women's basketball called Get It Out the Net. We appreciate y'all tuning in to our inaugural episode here. So we're going to tap into a lot of different topics. Women's basketball is hot right now, bro. It's a lot going on, so I can't wait to get into it. Hopefully y'all enjoy. I want to kick it off with just, one of the hottest topics right now, which was that LSU South Carolina game, the scuffle, the aftermath, just everything that went into it. Crazy thing was, we was in the building, Los. We was there. We saw all of it live.
Crazy thing was, we was right behind the bench. Like, we were right behind the bench, bro. Literally two
Yeah.
rows up. So we were literally right there in the midst of all the action.
Facts. So first of all, I want to say shout out to Flauget for hooking us up with the tickets. You know what I'm saying? Big foe. We live in that lifestyle
And
to the
big
day we die. We
foe.
mess with foe. Yeah, we mess with foe. I also want to say shout out to all the great LSU fans that we met while we were there. We met Haley Van Lift's dad. We met Miss Reese. We met Flauget's mom. We met a lot of people. They were all cool. So just shout out to the LSU fans and the parents of the players. They were all great people. It was a great experience for us. But let's get into the game. I want to first start off with just the atmosphere. Like we've been to Iowa, that was a crazy atmosphere, but it was a completely different atmosphere. When we walked into that LSU South Carolina game, I don't want to say it was like I don't want to say hate, but you could feel the rivalry. You could feel
Oh,
the
man.
tension between the two fan bases. And I know you kind of felt like this coming in, but for me, I don't know. I was just kind of stupid and ignorant to the fact that like the game is in South Carolina, very close to the University of South Carolina. It was damn near a University of South Carolina home game. Like it was really like a small section of purple and everything else was red. And I did not anticipate that. I don't know why, for whatever reason. I'm thinking it's a championship game. Both teams are going to be like 50-50. It was 75-25 at best. Like,
At
so
best.
it
At
was, it
best.
was, you feel me? It was a lot of tension going in there and it was a lot of red. Next, the refing in the game was very questionable. Now, I want to say, like, after the game, we were in the LSU section. So we were kind of, it was a little LSU, a lot of LSU bias from the people around of us. But it kind of like, I won't lie, it kind of impacted like my view of the game because all you're hearing is just, oh, foul, like every play. And they let a lot of stuff go. Like both ends, there was a lot of calls that they missed and a lot of little stuff that they let go. So the refing as a whole, to me, wasn't good.
You mentioned this to me before where you watched the game back and, the calls weren't terrible calls or going one way or the other. I think the biggest thing was the refs lost control of the game.
Facts. And what I will say is, in as women's basketball in general, as it grows, there's gonna be more eyes on the game, and we're like the refing has been bad. It's been bad for years, but now that it's at the forefront, where everybody's getting to see it.
Oh,
Last
yeah.
year, championship game LSU versus Iowa was one of the worst ref games I've ever seen. And if you're a casual fan, that's the one game you're going to watch. You're going to watch the championship game. You got Caitlin Clark, you got LSU. It's a hype matchup. You tune in and you see that ref, and you're probably like, oh, I don't want to watch this anymore anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just something that they need to fix because in these big games like SEC championship, LSU, South Carolina rematch, everybody's tuned in. Like people are texting me, like everybody's watching the game. Like people I've never talked to about women's college basketball are texting me about the game. That's how I know the game is going in the right direction. But you can't have like stuff like bad refing being the talk of what happens in the game. You just don't want that in a big game. There was just so much that I think that the refs let go that leading up to that. I'm not saying that that's the cause because you never know when something like that's going to go down. But everything that's going into it's a rivalry. These are young players. The
Mm-hmm.
tension is high. They both want to win. And like there's something different when it comes to that game. Like there's like a big bro, little bro type of feeling where like LSU wants to beat their big bro. Like they want to beat South Carolina. They haven't beat them in years. You don't get that? I just feel like when I see
LSU got
Angel,
that ring.
they do have the ring, and that's something completely different. So I get what you're saying, but in that rivalry, they haven't beat them, bro.
That's true.
And when you haven't beat your rival, you want that. And when it's like so big of a matchup, you got Angel Reese. She's coming to the conference saying, "We're not scared of them. We're not scared of them." And she was trying to make a point, like
Yeah.
we will go into these matchups feeling like we can win. And when you have to say something like that, that means there's something there. Like there's something to that to make you say that, which means that they know like South Carolina's had the edge, and we want to get over that, but we haven't. So you going into this game with like a little extra pluses for a championship and all that shit. So let's get into the actual altercation of what happened, Los.
Yeah,
From your
bro.
perspective, what did you see, bro? What did you see? Speak on it.
Man, so this is potentially the biggest college basketball game of the year up until this point. This SEC championship game, there's been a lot of great basketball all season long, NBA, college, women's college, but this game right here was the biggest in my opinion thus far. I say that to say I'm locked in. Big Foe tries to do a crossover. It gets caught on her hip or on her shorts. Malaysia Full Wiley, star freshman from South Carolina. She is beyond tough.
Really like that.
Beyond tough. She gets a poke, intentional foul. Flaude is obviously frustrated. Grabs her shorts, and Malaysia does a little spin, but she didn't hold on to the shorts. She didn't hold on to the shorts. So I was like, okay, that could have been something, but situation diffused a little bit, right? She walking that way, they walking this way, and then Big Watkins came out of nowhere, and she got up in Big Foe's face, and that's when all hell broke loose. But I saw Flaude give her a slight push, didn't look like nothing crazy, and then boom, you just heard Flaude hit the ground
And
so
then it was,
hard,
bro, it
bro.
was like this, like a WWE scene, bro. Like it just all hell broke loose. And the crazy thing was, like, you're telling this story, all of this stuff happened in seconds. Like it's not like there was like time for all this to happen. It was Flage's dribbling. And let me give a little bit more context. And at this point in the game, South Carolina is starting to take control. It was kind of going back and forth. LSU went on a run to cut it to one. Like they're back in the game. Everybody's all super hyped. And then South Carolina, like they usually do, they stay poised. They go on a run. Flage is the we need you to get a bucket player. So she's
Yeah,
trying to do what she does. And up until that point, she'd been saucy the whole time. But like you said, Full Wiley got in her pocket. She ripped her, and the play starts going the other way. We've seen this. This is like you said. We've seen this millions of times in basketball. It's a frustration foul.
yeah,
You rip me. The crowd is going high. We're losing. I'm mad. I'm a foul you. So
yeah,
she grabs her. Was it a little aggressive? Sure. Did Full Wiley swing a little bit? Yeah, we see that all the time. Like, get off me.
yeah.
That was completely normal. Like you said, all you see is Watkins, and she's doing what teams do. Like, you're mad. I'm gonna clap in your face. So she's coming over. Yeah, doing the quintessential. I'm trying to piss you off claps,
Mm-hmm.
and she pissed Flage off. Flage went for the get out my face push, which is nothing crazy. She's gonna get a tech for it, whatever. Cardoso wasn't going for none of that.
Hey,
Cardoso came out,
Cardosa
bro. I
shut
swear
the
to you,
whole club down with that push.
when I'm watching this all go down, Cardoso is not even in my eyesight. I don't know where she came from. She spawned out of nowhere and was just right in front of Flage. Edge spears her, boom, just knocks her
Man,
smooth down.
the,
Now from this point, I'm like, whoa,
it's
where did
complete.
that
It's
happen? Because this
complete
is all
melee at
happening
this
like
point. It's complete
all
melee.
at once. I'm looking like, yo, what just happened? Before I can even comprehend that she just mauled Flage, we see a man come flying from the top ropes. And bro, I remember bro, I'm sitting there looking at you. I said, who is that? Who is
Bro,
that?
the
Who is that?
the
That's the only
crazy
thing
the,
I can say.
the crazy thing about that, but I'll let you keep going. The crazy thing about that is in like the beginning of the first quarter of the game, I seen him walk by me. So when I seen him on the court, I was like, he not supposed to be he not supposed to be down there. He just walked by me. Like,
That's the only thing I
why
can
is
think
he
of,
out there,
bro.
bro? Like I was
I'm
like,
like, bro, why is he out there? Like he's not supposed to be. That's the only thing I'm like, bro, how did he get down there? Because where we're sitting, there's a barricade in between. So I'm just thinking, how did he get there? And when you see the replay, bro, this is the craziest thing about the replay when I watched it. So I watched it all the way through. He was not the only one that was trying to get there. He
oh
was
no.
the only one athletic enough to get over the barricade and then over the table. There was about 5, 6 dudes that came down, and they all looked like they was from Savannah, all looked like they was there for Flage, and they wasn't going for none of it. Now they had the wherewithal to think, all right, I'm not getting over this barricade. I'm finna stop here. But when you see it, when all that like transpires, everybody from the stand starts like flowing
Going
down to
down.
like the first row. He just was the one that got over the next the scores table, which was it was insane.
And for
Bro
people
gets
that don't know, when you're playing in these arenas that aren't just for basketball, the barricade is like a hockey barricade. So you have to make it
there's
over
no
like a
front row seating. There's no like people
no.
on the floor. There's nothing there. Like there's nobody supposed to be there.
Yeah.
There's cops in
Yeah.
between there too. My boy got over the cops, over the scores table. His instincts kicked in because all he saw was his sister on the ground. It's a whole bunch of
For
people.
sure.
I don't know if he thought she was gonna get jumped or what. His instincts kicked in like, no, it's not going down. He
I
was
would
completely in the wrong. I will tell you, you should never go on the court.
one
And
thousand
it's a bunch
percent.
of women like, and it
I
wasn't like a situation where like I understand they start kicking Flage, get down there and you got to
oh
help her.
one
But
thousand percent.
feel me? But it wasn't that. And I think he just acted too fast and right or wrong. We're gonna move past the situation, but he shouldn't have did what he did. And I'm not gonna villainize the dude because he was trying to protect his sister. But he was just in the wrong, bro. It is what it is. That situation's probably one of the craziest like live things that I've seen. Just how that escalated so fast, bro. And let's move on past that. South Carolina got the dub. Shout out Full Wiley. She played an outstanding
She
game.
is a dog, bro.
Yeah,
She is
that's
a
that's one of
real
the ones,
dog.
bro. I've been saying it since day one. Like if you really been following SSN, like I did a couple videos on her when she was in high school. So I knew what it was, and I was expecting her to do this like all season, but she had to kind of get in Dawn Staley's good graces and figure out everything. And I mean, in South Carolina, you know what you're signing up for. You're signing up to join a team full of really good players. You might not have the same stats that you would get on a different team, but y'all gonna win championships or at least compete for championships.
Yeah, I was gonna say the full Wiley. It's weird because I feel like the this South Carolina team reminds me a lot of the Kentucky teams that were stacked, where you're
Yeah,
gonna have guys playing 20, maybe 22 minutes a night, getting 10, 12 points a night, and the stats don't look incredible, but it's because they're playing on stacked teams. So that's really the situation full Wiley's in. So to
right.
see her get
And,
off in
and to
that
your
SEC
point, a lot of
championship,
those players get to the league and show off a bag that they never showed off in
exactly.
college because they were, minimizing their roles to play on said team. I think there's a lot like what you're saying. A lot of that is true, and a lot of that is happening with Malaysia Full Wiley. I think if she was on a team kind of like Juju, like she would put up 25 a game because she has that type of game and
Easy.
that type of talent.
You know
She really
she, bro. You know
unguardable
she's
out
only
there.
playing 19 minutes a night.
Yes, bro. I've been complaining about this all season. I kid you not. I've been
Hey,
like, yo, why did Full
Don
Wiley not
Staley,
play
we
the whole
love
game?
you, but come on now.
Look, you cannot argue with the success. They haven't lost a game all season. SEC championship, lost one game last
Last
year.
year, yeah.
So like they've been dominating. It's hard to argue with Don, but yeah, when you see Full Wiley's talent, it makes you want more. Like, bro, the first game when she went behind the back jelly lay, I'm like, yeah, I want to see that every single game. So I'm excited to see Full Wiley have a bigger role, especially going into the tournament. I want to see how they use her more. So shout out Don Staley, shout out South Carolina. They
Yep,
played a good game. They deserve that championship. And like you said, I did say right after the game, I was still flowing with the LSU, emotions. I said I think if they called the game more fair, LSU would have won. I take that back. South Carolina was the better team. They deserved that win. They
absolutely.
had the best player on the court. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of times that's going to win you the game. So shout out South Carolina. Let's move on from the actual game to what happened after the game now. So we saw Don Staley speak on the situation in front of the crowd. We saw what she said after the game. And pretty much the whole time she said, like, this is not us. This is not who we are. We don't teach our girls to do that. We apologize. This is not becoming of our university and team and everything. She said all the right things, all the stuff you expect from Don Staley. And then you get the opposite side of it where we get Kim Mulkey. And for better or for worse, like you're gonna love or hate Kim Mulkey. I want to look at it from multiple perspectives because I know obviously everybody had the same reaction was like that's kind of crazy to say after after this heated of a moment you probably want to calm things down, and what she said was not very calming in that situation. Basically said like if you're gonna push one of us, push our biggest dog out there. You know
Ah,
what I'm saying? That's what it sounded like to me. Like if you really wanted to fight, you should have picked on our
she's
biggest dog to really go out
she's.
there.
I got my son is 6'4" from Baltimore. Go
Why
see
you
her,
ain't want that
Cardoza.
smoke with her? You picked on Flau'jae. She have your size, but you could have picked on Angel Reese. Now that is probably not the right thing to say
And
to calm things down.
to be honest with you, Cardoza 6'8", maybe a little bit. I don't know. I don't want no problems with her. If I'm like, if I'm Angel Reese, I'm looking at Moki like you just gonna put me out there like that. Like I ain't trying to see Cardoza.
Hey, it's like when a girl get into it to do. I'm gonna get my brother. Hey, brother, like, bro, why you what you mean you gonna
You gonna
get
go
your
get
brother?
me?
Me? Like I didn't sign up for no fight today.
And
But
now
no, I
now you
think
gotta fight the biggest dude on the block.
yeah, right. Like, and then you step up and he would two times your size. You like, bro, I ain't signed up for this. I thought he was
Uh,
little when you told me
hey,
to come fight this dude.
this really between y'all for real. I don't even know why I'm
Yeah,
here.
like
Like
I wasn't even over there for real. I think there's two ways to look at it. Obviously, from the outsider perspective, from a fan's perspective, that's just not what you expect from a coach after something like that. You normally expect them to kind of try to calm things down, say we were in the wrong, whatever, whatever. Now, Mulkey went the other way, and I think that there's two ways to look at it. The other way to look at it is from her players. I don't know. I'm not in that locker room. I don't know what type of relationship she has with those players, but there is the fact that like if you feel like she had your back, like if I'm Angel Reese or Flau'jae and I feel like yo, my coach went out there and she had my back, and you come back to the locker room, then that's gonna help. Like the camaraderie, the team is gonna rally behind it. And sometimes that us versus everybody mentality can work in college or in any team situation. Like us versus them can kind of be like a calling, a rallying call or whatever. I think there's partly that to it. So like, yes, we might look at it like, yo, that's kind of crazy. But if her team looks at it a different way, that's all that really matters. Like what
And
we
it,
think don't really matter.
and to be honest with you, LSU strikes me as that team that is like, yeah, we with Moki. Like, we want all
Yeah.
that smoke. We ain't ducking nothing. Like, we here.
So so from that perspective, I think that what she said might look wrong to us and to a lot of people, but if her team rallies behind that, then hey, I'm not here to say that she's wrong or right about that situation. Where do you fall on the both the coaches' statements?
I mean, Don Staley's a class act. We love Don Staley. Everybody loves Don Staley. Um, Moki has, Moki's name has gotten kind of a interesting. Um, I don't want to say a bad rap, but there's just a lot of stuff circulating around Kim Mulkey, and so I think that we interpret a lot of what she says differently than what she's intending it to be. It seems like her players gravitate towards her really well. We were sitting next to a couple of her friends, even some people that met her while she was at Baylor. So Kim Mulkey seems to me like she harbors relationships extremely well, and those girls really do play for her. I mean, there's been a lot of drama circulating LSU for the past couple years, and they continue to win. They continue to play well. They continue to be a team. So we got to give her credit in that aspect. I do think that with everything that happened, she should have took a softer approach to the situation. But hey, that's LSU. That's Lady Tigers basketball, and it works for them. So who am I to say anything different?
And just like we talked about before, shout out Don Staley. She G checked a whole network today to tell them like y'all are not going to talk about my player like this. I don't care what it's about. I don't care what she did. She didn't do nothing for y'all to like talk about her like this. She G checked an entire
For
network,
sure.
bro. So shout out Don Staley. I think we just have to understand that these are still kids at the end of the day, and nobody is going to make the perfect decision every time with the world watching. Next time
Absolutely.
LSU South Carolina plays, I mean, maybe it's this season in the tournament. Who knows? That
Most
game is going
it'll
to
be the most
everybody's
watched
tuning
game
in.
in college basketball history.
Everybody's going to tune in. Everybody's going to talk about it. It's a bad thing that we're talking about it negatively, but it's a good thing that women's sports is being talked about by pretty much everybody. Like
I
we
agree.
saw the first take, we seen all these major networks talk about something that happened in women's basketball. A few years ago, that would not be the case, bro. So it's moving in the right direction, I think, man.
No, 100%, bro. I'm right there with you.
I want to move over to one of the biggest, I think, controversies when it comes to decision making in women's college basketball right now, which is the freshman of the year.
Mm.
I saw ESPN came out with their freshman of the year. They went with Juju Watkins over Hannah Hidalgo. I think that that's going to be a big point of contention. There's half people love Juju, half the people love Hannah. I think this is one of the closest races we've had in a long time, probably since the Caitlin Clark and the Paige Beckers when they were freshmen. This is a tough decision, bro. Where do you stand on that?
All right. First off, before I give my stance on it, I want to give a quick shout out because let's just be real. It is between Juju Watkins and Hannah Hildago. I want to give
Yeah.
a quick shout out though, Malaysia Full Wiley. If you are playing on any other team in this country, girl, you gonna be on the top of that list too. You're gonna be right at the top of that list. And I also want to give a quick shout out to Madison Booker because she's been eating greedy out there in Texas, bro.
Bro, I feel like Madison Booker hasn't been talked about enough in terms of just like the great players in college basketball, but definitely the great freshmen. What she did this season was nothing short of spectacular.
Exactly.
Their best player and a girl who won multiple Big 12 Player of the Years gets hurt early on in the season. They didn't falter. They didn't miss a beat, bro. They stepped up. Madison Booker actually went from playing on the wing to playing point guard for the team. She's not a natural point guard. She played point guard all year, won Big 12 Player of the Year, and won the Big 12 championship in the last year that Texas is in the Big 12. That's major. That's big time, and people need to talk about that. Madison Booker is a bucket. I said this in the video, the best 3-5 since 3-5 at Texas. That's all I'm going to say.
Nah, bro, she's extremely tough, bro. She's had an unbelievable year. Texas, unbelievable year as well. I think they finished 30 wins. I think they had 30 wins this year, 30 and 4 or something like that. But
I also want to give a quick shout out to Leah Scott, another amazing freshman. She was
100%.
going absolutely crazy this year. Injuries kind of like hurt her year a little bit, but at one point she was the leading scorer in the SEC.
SEC, yep.
So shout out to her too. I just want to shout out, bro. The freshman class this year is just full of talent. We could keep going, but we gotta, keep it
Yeah,
keep it kind of
yeah,
short. So we're gonna talk about the freshman of the year, like you said, between the two. So who you got, man?
I gotta go Hannah Hidalgo, bro. I
Okay.
love Juju Watkins' game, bro. She is extremely, extremely tough. And I hate that I even gotta pick one or the other, bro. Like, this might be a time for co freshman of the year. Like, it might be a time for that. and I will not I will not be upset if they did that. Um,
Yeah.
Hannah Hildago, bro, she's just so steady. She's so steady, and the way she like Juju is a leader of that team. She is a leader of that team. Hannah Hildago is the leader of Notre Dame, and when I say that, it's because she's playing point guard. She's literally getting everybody involved. She's making the calls out there. She's if you hear her and the coach talk simultaneously, they sound exactly alike. And you want your point guard to be a reflection of the coach on the floor, bro. On top of that, she's averaging 23 points, 6 boards, and five almost 6 assists a game too, bro. So it's like it's really hard for me to choose, but Hannah Hildago has really led this team, really taken this team upon her shoulders and said, "Follow me." And she led them all the way to the ACC championship, bro. And um, I, man, I hate to split hairs, but it's like that Juju's last game and Hannah Hidalgo's last game. It's just hard. I hate this, bro. I hate this, bro. But I'm gonna go Hannah Hidalgo.
Bro, like you said, I'm gonna start it off by agreeing with the first thing you said, which they should be co-freshman of the year because I don't know what it is that you can like say, okay, this is the separator. Because when you start doing it, you're nitpicking one side. It's like I can nitpick the other side. You know what I'm saying? There's just something that you could say in retort to both of them, bro. Like they both had amazing seasons for freshmen. And I always want to start off by talking about Hannah Hidalgo. That's one of the best defensive point guards that I've seen in a long time. Like she
Absolutely.
is a true dog on both
Hey,
ends.
that's that jersey. That's that jersey in her.
Like as soon as the game starts, she's putting her imprint on the game. And it doesn't, I've seen nights where she's had off scoring games, but like her defensive effort never switches. Like it's never like, oh, I'm having a bad game. No, like she's having a bad game. I'm about to take the ball from the other girl. Like she's a true dog. That's exactly like you said. That is exactly what you want from the point guard position, like on both ends. And they have a great point guard as their coach. So like she's getting it from everywhere. So shout out Hannah Hidalgo, one of the best, not only point guards, not only freshman players in the country. Like that is a
100%.
real dog right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like if I had to choose, I gotta go with Juju. I think there's a lot of factors that go in for the Juju Watkins winning this freshman of the year. And I think sadly, one of the things that's gonna probably help her win the award is just her star power. Like she's a real star. She has like Chris Brown, YG, all these
I mean,
like
she's in that she is LA and she's in that
she
LA
is
market.
LA.
So
She's from LA. Like
yeah,
everybody in LA is buying on. I think that her star power alone is just gonna probably give her that push because I mean we know what it is with these major like we know what it is, bro. Like they want to push the stars, bro. They want the stars, and I get it. Like women's college basketball needs the stars. They need the storylines. I hate that that's probably going to be what gets her the award, but from a pure basketball perspective, I would still give it to her. She's doing stuff that like has not been done since Cheryl Miller. Like she's breaking, like she broke the 30 point per game or 30 point a game record that Cheryl Miller had. She could possibly break the scoring record if they have a long enough tournament run. She could break the scoring record that Cheryl Miller had as a freshman. She's outscored Caitlin Clark as a freshman, who's the player with the most points ever in NCAA history. So like right now, she's on pace to break that record. I think that like it's just hard to not give her the award when she's had not only the great season, but she's brought eyes to, the game. Like people love Juju and you love watching her because she's a fun player to watch. I think all of that goes into it. And I think that she's only getting better. That's the thing about Juju. She's only getting better. And she's already had this great of a season 27 points, 7 rebounds a game, bro, as a freshman. Is insane, bro. So I gotta lean towards Juju just with everything that goes into it. I want to get to some of your tournament favorites. Obviously, South Carolina is going to be the number 1 seed. They've lost one game in 2 years. They've been dominant, bro. So we're gonna exclude South Carolina. Obviously, they're on everybody's list. Like we all
yeah.
know what South Carolina is. Outside of South Carolina, what are some teams that you're looking at to make some noise, man?
Man, I'm really excited to see the run for UConn this year. Paige coming off that ACL has had an awesome season, bro. Amazing season. Um, 21 a game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, I believe. That team is really good. And my biggest thing with Paige this year has been the defense, bro. Just she's averaging 2 steals a game, almost 2 blocks a game. So it's like she's
Yeah.
really ramped it up there, and the whole team is followed. So I think UConn, they're not getting as much, which is crazy because UConn always gets the most publicity, but they're kind of falling under the radar this year. So I'm interested to see UConn in the tournament. The powers would be Iowa, South Carolina, LSU. Hype to see them as well, but I'm really looking forward to UConn.
Yeah, I like that UConn pick. Like you said, they have kind of fallen under the radar and they've kind of gone from like the biggest powerhouse to an underdog now. I think it's a little bit to do with this year they played like a lot of their top games. They didn't win their top games. But like you said, I think that they're kind of peaking at the right time. They're kind of everybody's starting to figure out their roles. Whereas beginning of the season, they didn't really know their roles. They knew Paige Beckers was the best player. Outside of that, they didn't really know what they had.
Exactly.
Sorry, my country. They didn't really know what they had outside of Paige Beckers. They had KK Arnold coming in. She was a highly recruited freshman. They had a couple other highly recruited freshmen. They kind of had to find their place and figure it out. And I think that they have now. I think their biggest issue is going to be Aaliyah Edwards, her health. If she's healthy, I think that they're gonna absolutely make some noise. They're
Yeah,
definitely going to be a Sweet 16 team, and then from there, let the chips fall where they may. But without her, they have no chance. They need her down low
I agree.
inside because she's bro. Aaliyah Edwards, another player I want to shout out. From last year to this year, I don't know if there's been any player that's improved that
I'm about
much.
to
Like
say that
she,
jump from last year to this year has been crazy.
bro, last year she was good, but it wasn't this. Now she's confident. She's the clear like number
Me
two,
too.
even if you want to call her 1A, 1B to Paige Beckers, like they are working well together and she's dominating. So if they get her, I think that they're absolutely gonna make some noise. Without her, it's gonna be tough because I don't think that any other post player they have is ready to step up
I
and,
agree.
and, and take that responsibility. But I do love that pick. I mean, there's a couple teams that are like under the radar for me that I feel like can make some real noise. I'm gonna start with Oregon State. That is one team I think can
Ooh,
really make some noise because I
that's a
think
good
that they
pick.
have a team that can match up with a lot of teams. They're under the radar, but they beat a lot of teams in that Pac-12, and the Pac-12 was very deep this year. They have a big girl in Beers who can match up with pretty much any big and give them a tough time. She's a
Yep.
big girl who can score down low. She's very physical. So I think they have that. They have a backup big who's really good. They have Talia Van Olhoffen, who's been balling all
Yep.
season. They just play good basketball. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in a tournament setting because they play so hard and they have so many different options. There's not really, okay, you got to stop her. Some teams I feel like have that one player was like, if you stop her, they're kind of going to slow down.
Yeah.
Oregon State has a lot of different options. They got a couple bigs, and I think in the tournament, if you have some good bigs, some good guards, you can make a big run. I
And
think that
and
matchups wise, they'll scare some people.
and I was gonna say real quick, just touching up on that Oregon State pick. They have the ability to switch a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
They have a lot. They have, and I don't even, man. I'm trying to think real quick, but they might have the most elite two-way players on the wings. Like they have a lot of players that play both sides of the floor really well.
Another team that I really like in March that's kind of under the radar is NC State. I like North Carolina State.
Oh
Got
yeah, NC
Samaya
State. I
Rivers. I
like
think she's
that
going to
pick,
be a
Jay.
very big mismatch for people. I like to look at players that I think are going to be mismatches. Louisville has a player I think is going to be a mismatch for a lot of people. Ohio State has a player that I think is going to be a mismatch for a lot of people. And Cody McMahon, just her
Yep.
physicality. Ohio State, I know that they're ranked kind of high. They were the number 2 team just like a week ago before the Big Ten tournament in the Iowa loss. They're going to be a very tough team to beat
Are they gonna be?
in
They might be the toughest out of the tournament. Seriously, like
bro. They press the entire game, which is something that most teams don't face all year. So if you're not used to that, they're gonna get you off balance because they're gonna press you the entire time, speed up the game. Then they can shoot the ball well, and then on top of it, like you said, they've had players that play both ends, and then you got Cody McMahon, who's just like one of the most physical players in college basketball.
yep.
She's a very big mismatch. Like there's not a lot of teams that have one player that can like match up with her because she's
No,
too quick for anybody
that's
bigger
gonna
than
be a
her.
strong double team. That's gonna be a
Yeah,
strong
she's
double
too
team.
quick for anybody bigger than her.
Yeah.
She's too strong for anybody smaller than her.
Yep.
So it's a real mismatch. I think that that's going to be very tough for people to beat. But those are a couple teams I like to look at. Obviously, we got the USC, who's going to probably be a 1 seed after the winning the Pac-12. We got Stanford, who is probably going to be a 1 seed. UCLA is very tough. They got some great bigs, great guards. I think it's just all going to come down to matchups, and I can't wait to see those brackets because then I can start to formulate. Okay, this team is going to have a tough time here,
Yeah.
but without seeing the matchups, it's kind of hard. But those are some of the teams that I'm looking for. And Texas, like you said, Texas. If they had Rory Harmon, Texas might be a Final Four pick for me.
I'm
But
telling you. I'm
Madison
telling you.
Booker has the skill to go on a Carmelo Anthony type run, bro.
Bro, I
He's
swear I
unguardable.
was just thinking that, Jay. I swear I
He's
was just
unguardable.
thinking that.
Like I know that she wears 35, and I was like, some of those pull-ups do look KD-esque, but some of that stuff looks real Carmelo-esque. That
Hey,
mid-range boy,
talk about it. Talk about it.
that mid-range work is stupid, bro. And last team I want to give a shout out to that could make some noise outside of the number 1 seeds and stuff, Notre Dame. We talked about
Oh,
Hannah Hidalgo. Don't nobody want to see that girl.
no.
Don't nobody want to see
Don't
that girl.
no point guard want to see her. Don't that's a
None.
tough match. That's a long night for you. That's a long
That
night.
is a long night. And not only point guard, just like you could stick her on the best player on the other team and say, look, we need you to shut that down. It's probably getting shut down. So
Bro,
you don't want to
no,
see Notre
hey,
Dame, and they got
no
it's
lies
more
being
than Hannah
told.
Hidalgo. That's why I think Notre Dame is going to be tough because it's more than Hannah Hidalgo. She's the leader, and she's definitely the engine to the team. Bro, it's more than just Hannah Hidalgo, which I think makes them super dangerous. Like you got Citron, who is a beast. Like she could really get buckets. She's a great shooter. You got Maddie Westbelt, bro, down low, one of the best mid-range shooters from a big in the country. So I think that they have enough to get it done. Like they have enough, and I think that outside of South Carolina, there's no team that's complete enough to just say like, okay, that team's definitely going to run away with it. Notre Dame can beat pretty much anybody in the country. The next thing I want to get into, I saw ESPN. This is I want to first say this is ESPN's list of All-Americans. This is not the official list of All-Americans, though a lot of these players probably will make it. So I want to get your take on the list of All-Americans. Was there anybody that you thought should have made it?
Oh man, this one was tough for me, and the reason the tough part for me is with list in general is when you say somebody that you think somebody should have made it, that means you got to take somebody off.
Facts.
And based on this list, I really I hate not to have an argument with the list, but I really do like the list, bro. I mean,
Mhm.
a lot of people might say Cameron Brink, but at the end of the day, she's the most versatile big in the country. So both
Facts.
sides of the floor. So
Facts.
playing both sides of the floor. So she'll be a top five pick more than likely, Cameron Brink.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A
So
lot of projections have her as like the number two pick. So I
yeah,
mean, she's going top five. Like you said, she led the country in blocks this year. So and she's on one of the best teams. She scores, she plays defense. It's hard to take Cameron Brink off that list.
that would be
But
the
I
that would be my only person I could take off, and then who I would put on. There's so many names, bro, but I'm not gonna even do that. I'm not gonna even take Brink off. I can't. I'm not gonna take Brink off. I'm gonna show her respect. I'm gonna show her respect.
so I can speak to, I've been active on Twitter. I can speak to the names that I've seen thrown around that people, have said. Camila Cardozo is obviously one of them. It's kind of tough for her because one, she did miss a couple games and they still won when she didn't play. And like you said, South Carolina's just a well-oiled machine. So it's kind of hard to like, she's definitely the one that gets the most love and gets, the attention when it comes to like these lists. So I understand it. But when you have other players like Pow Pow, who's a very good player, you got Watkins,
Watkins, you
you got
got Full
players
Wiley,
everywhere.
you got we can run down the names
Exactly.
like
So it's I understand the point of like rewarding her for the rest of the team, but it's hard when all the other players are kind of like very, very key focal points to their teams.
exactly.
Um, like you said, it's hard to take anybody off the list. So I'm not going to take anybody off the list. I'll just throw in some people I thought could be honorable mentions, maybe, or even if
Fair
they were
enough.
on the list, I wouldn't have been mad if they were on the list too. I got three names: Madison Booker, like we've been talking about. Just the fact that she was able to get that team to a championship was amazing. I think Rakia Jackson
Oh
for
yeah.
Tennessee,
Oh
they
yeah.
were this close to
Yeah.
beating South Carolina. They almost beat them twice. They played them
Yeah.
tough twice. They almost beat them in that SEC tournament game.
That
If
that was
by the grace
nuts.
of God, by whatever that was, Camila Cardoso glassing a three, her only three of her career, Tennessee would have been in that SEC championship game. And Rakia Jackson is probably, I hate to say this because there's so many great scores, but she's one of the best like wing scorers in the country, bro. She's really unguardable. She's gonna be a top 2, 3 pick in the
For
WNBA
sure.
draft. So I wouldn't have been mad at her making the list just off of pure talent and numbers. Like that's a dog right there. And lastly, maybe I would add Liz Kitley just for the year that she had. She was dominating in the ACC. She was one ACC Player of the Year over Hannah Hidalgo, which was kind of very controversial in my opinion. I think it should have went to Hannah Hidalgo, but she won it, and then, I think that was maybe back to back. She won it, so Kitley is another person that I wouldn't have been mad if I saw on that list.
I just think
But I'm
no
not
no conference tourney run might have hurt those
I mean, the
chances.
thing is, like you said, Brink led the country in blocks. She
Yeah.
was one of the top rebounders. She averaged a lot of points. So, like, I'm not mad at Brink being on that list, and she's obviously deserving. It's just these other players are also deserving. So it's kind of hard when you can only choose five. Like Caitlin Clark obviously is on the list. Juju's obviously on the list. Hannah Hidalgo obviously on the list, which is crazy because she made the list but didn't win ACC Player of the Year. I don't know how that works,
Yeah, that's crazy.
but I'm not.
But
I think
I
anybody.
I will say, not taking nothing from nobody. I am really happy to see two freshmen make this list because that just
Man,
lets you know that the future is super bright.
Man, and not only to mention that, like those freshmen, like we said, are key on their team, so they get to do a lot. But there's so many freshmen that could probably do similar things. That just shows how great this freshman class was. Like I think when we
Yeah.
look back on like classes, this is going to be one of those classes where we're like, yeah, that class had a lot of hoopers, bro. And not to mention, bro, like we said, we've been keeping up with the high school players as well. Like there's some talent coming in these next couple
Y'all
years that's
wait
going to
till
kick
next
it
year.
off.
Y'all wait. Oh
Hey,
man.
hey,
Woo!
I've been telling people, hey, don't sleep on Keone.
Oh, hey. Shout out Keone McMillan one time, man. Shout out
Feel
Keone.
me, my dog, my dog. Just, bro, let's talk about the tournament a little bit and the excitement, bro. We're on our way to Iowa City to check out the Hawkeyes as well as some other games that are going to be held out there, bro. Just tell me your experience with just being in Iowa and how that was, because I don't think we never really got to put it out there like how it was for us being at those games.
Man, you want to talk about a fandom. That is where the word when I think about the word fanatics for the rest of my life, it's going to be because of Iowa Hawkeyes fans. I mean, bro, the atmosphere was insane. The Carver has that weird kind of like old school feel to it, but it's just so tight and close packed together. You feel like you're just 18,000 deep in there and you guys are all family. Like it's a interesting feeling in Carver, man. I've never been a part of anything quite like it. And
Yeah.
the fact that women's basketball Caitlin Clark, we all know the GOAT. Like there's really not much we can say that hasn't been said about Caitlin Clark. Like she is amazing. But I think the fact that Iowa has the best women's basketball player in college right now, and women's basketball as a whole is so big and so popular right now that this tournament is going to be amazing. The fact that it's being held in Iowa is going to be even better because they love and appreciate their women's basketball so much.
Bro, like you were saying, bro, it's like an atmosphere I've never like been in front of. Like I've never seen anything like it. And typically, like I feel like when you're in like a college, environment, bro, because we went to the Penn State game, I went to the Ohio State game. Those are conference games. Typically, when I think of like conference games like that are highly contested, you kind of feel like the rivalry. You feel like okay, the fans are gonna heckle the other players and all that stuff. It's really not like that. Like in Iowa, it's just complete love for their team. Like they don't even worry about the other team. Like I'm not even finna
I
like
mean,
heavily
in
like
all fairness, I wouldn't worry either if I had Caitlin Clark.
you know what I'm saying? But like like I mean, you go to Duke, like
Yeah, I
they're
know
gonna
what you mean. I'm
heckle
just
the
messing
other
with you.
team. You go to like all these other places, like they're gonna heckle the other team. It's gonna be like a true road game, which
Right.
it is a true road game, but it's like everybody there is there for the same reason. It's like a celebration almost. Like we're gonna
Yep.
celebrate our team. We're gonna love our team. They don't. There's no like. We're not gonna. We don't even care about what the other team's gonna do because we know what we finna do. Caitlin's finna come out here, pull from the logo. We're gonna cheer. Like it's like an atmosphere I've never been a part of. And like you said, once you're in, bro, it's like a family. It's just like no other atmosphere. Like it's a true family out there. Like they rally behind their teams and they rally hard, bro. They will support you to the nth degree. And I feel like they feel the love that we give the women's game and give their team. So they show us love. So it's just great, bro. I love that we can go back out to Iowa City, check out some good basketball, see Caitlin a couple more times before she does head to the WNBA. But I'm just excited for this overall tournament run for everybody. Like, I think this is going to be one of the most exciting tournaments just because it's going to have so many eyes, so many people watching that have never watched before. Like I said, there's people that text me about stuff that's going on in women's college basketball that have never said anything to me about this game. So it just shows that like the game is heading in the right place, and I love that for the game. I love that for these girls. You see it from all these coaches and everybody that speaks on it. Like the game has always been the game, and now they're getting celebrated for what has been a great game of years past, and now we're getting to see all these great players, in the forefront. We get to see them become stars. Like there are actual stars in the world through women's college basketball. Like Angel Reese is a world star. Flau'jae is a world star.
Juju
Caitlin
Watkins,
Clark,
world
world
star.
star.
Caitlin
Juju
Clark,
Watkins.
mega star.
You
Like
feel me? All these people are like the stars, bro. So it just shows that like the women's game is going in the right direction. And I'm glad that we could be a part of it. Hopefully we can stay a part of it. Hopefully, the support continues because we're going to keep supporting the game, bro. So
absolutely.
I'm super excited to get back out to Iowa City, man. It's gonna be
Yeah,
a great
it's gonna be a good
atmosphere.
time. It's gonna be a
The
good time.
fans are great, the people are great. And like you said, it's become kind of like for right now, it's the hotbed of women's college basketball, bro. So I'm excited that some tournament games are gonna be there and we get to see them, bro.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man. We hope y'all appreciated the podcast today, man. Get SSN is presenting Get It Out the Net. This is strictly for women's hoop. I don't know too many people doing this right now, Jay. And I'm excited to kick this podcast off, man. I think it's gonna be really good for the basketball community in general. But it's well deserved that these women get some light shined on them.
Facts, facts, facts. Yeah, man. Like my boy Lo said, we appreciate y'all tuning in to our first episode of Get It Out the Net. Go ahead if you know what I'm saying, support SSN. Go ahead, check out our Get It Out the Net and straight to the Baja t-shirts. We
Yep,
will have that link up for you guys if you guys want to go ahead and grab some t-shirts. We
for sure.
appreciate all the love and support that you guys have been showing us. Like I said, we're gonna keep giving y'all this women's basketball content. We're gonna follow the tournament. We're gonna stay locked in. So we'll bring you these every week, and every time there's major events happening, we're gonna sit here and discuss it. If there's any topics that y'all want us to talk about, let us know. Anybody that wants to come in and talk some college basketball with us, let us know. We appreciate y'all tuning in. And like my boy said, it's been another one here with your boys over here on SSN. Get it out the net. And we appreciate y'all tuning in. We out.
Hey, we out.